Hey everybody, it is Mattie here with you on this Wednesday, on this hump day. Hope you're having a nice midweek. Today we're talking about all kinds of things, including the billionaire Mark Cuban, who has compared publicly Bitcoin to gold. We're talking Veritaseum, which has taken a major hit to the tune of 60% after facing SEC legal action for alleged fraud. We'll let you know as well about the SEC's lawsuit against Veritaseum from a couple of different sources. We're discussing the Binance customers that are being targeted by dusting attacks on altcoinbuzz.io. Then we have Electroneum in the news, which is down somewhat along with everything else. We'll get to that in just a second. But Electroneum towards mainstream adoption in Brazil, according to Coinbeat.com. And then you have at Input Output HK that is talking the new Daedalus wallet 0.14.0. We are talking Cardano, and we'll let you know what that is all about on forum.cardano.org. Let's kick things off, however, with a look at the market, and things are a little bit bloody today, to be perfectly candid. We are down 5% overall, total market cap of $280 billion. Bitcoin, at the time of this recording, down 6.1% over the last day, sitting at $10,531. But don't despair, because billionaire Mark Cuban has compared Bitcoin to gold, at least in the long run, with this article on altcoinbuzz.io by Luke. So Mark Cuban, if you don't know him, he's an American businessman and owner of professional basketball team, the Dallas Mavericks. He was talking about Bitcoin and compared it to gold in a recent interview. This was with Kitco News on the 9th of August, and Cuban shed his light on Bitcoin and on gold. According to Cuban, the finite supply of Bitcoin is a bonus to its investment value. Cuban said, quote, "They're both collectibles. The value is based off supply and demand. And the good news about Bitcoin is there's a finite supply that'll ever be created." When asked about gold, Cuban said, quote, "Hate with extreme prejudice is not enough." Wow. Hate with double extreme prejudice with an ounce of hot sauce. And although Mark did reveal that he bought a relatively small amount of the cryptocurrency, referring to Bitcoin, I don't think we should get too excited, because his negative view of gold actually carries over into Bitcoin. He's not too big a fan of either assets. But there you have it. Everybody's making the Bitcoin gold comparison, including high-profile businessmen, so that's not a bad thing for the space, in my opinion. Let's switch gears now to CryptoSlate.com and discuss the Veritaseum ICO. Issuers are facing SEC legal action for alleged fraud, and Veritaseum, VERI, has dropped 60%. At the time of this recording, it has bounced back up 20% over the last 24 hours. But again, that is in response to a very violent bounce. So Veritaseum sitting at $5.18. It was as low as $4.02. And as you can see here, over the course of the last 7 days, it was much, much higher, closer to $15, $16. So quite an abrupt and violent drop in response to this news. The SEC, the Securities and Exchange Commission, is ramping up its efforts to combat crypto fraud, and the commission filed an emergency legal action against the owner of Veritaseum, Reggie Middleton, whose ICO raised almost $15 million, obliterating the price of Veri. According to court documents shared by the Hindenburg Research, the complaint was filed against Reginald Middleton, a New York resident accused of conducting an unregistered token sale. The SEC claims that Veritaseum Inc. and Veritaseum LLC, two companies controlled by Middleton, both together raised $14.8 million through the sale of 51 million VERI tokens between late 2017 and 2018. The SEC called for an emergency stop action to prevent Middleton, a self-proclaimed, quote, financial guru, from accessing the funds that remained from the Vericoin offering. Court documents showed that Middleton currently has access to around $8 million of investor funds. So at the heart of it, the base of the SEC's case lies in the fact that Middleton reportedly tried to pass off Veri tokens as, quote, software, even going as far as calling them gift cards. All of this, the commission claims, makes the entire offering illegal. Quote, "There was no registration statement filed or in effect for the offers and sales of Veri, and no exemption from registration applied," continued the filing. Middleton was also accused of fabricating trading volume on an unnamed exchange to artificially pump the price of the tokens. The document showed that Middleton was able to inflate Veri's price by 315% in a single day. Personally, I'm of two minds when it comes to this story. My knee-jerk reaction is I don't like the SEC coming in and policing the world of cryptocurrency, but I have to agree with the points that they've raised. If, the fact that this Reggie Middleton, if they accuse him of being such a huckster, and that is the case, I don't want him manipulating the value of his project. I don't want him misappropriating and mislabeling his tokens to be able to squeeze by and bend the rules and rip off investors. So I'm not on his side. I'm not 100% on the side of the SEC, but in this case, I kind of fall into their camp and support what they're doing. It's a weird kind of gray zone, though, because I can see that it may be a slippery slope for them to, again, police what they deem fit, what they deem not to fit the current paradigm that they're trying to support. So it's a bit of a sticky subject, but that's my hot take. Let us know your thoughts about this in the comments below. You can also read about the lawsuit on the blockcrypto.com. SEC files emergency lawsuit against Veritaseum to stop spending millions of dollars in ICO money. The SEC, of course, has filed a lawsuit in federal court to prevent Veritaseum from spending those $8 million raised in the ICO. And the SEC alleges that Veritaseum knowingly misled investors about prior business success and investor demand for the tokens. You can take a look at the filing itself, which was issued on the 12th of August. It's right here at the end of this article. In other news on altcoinbuzz.io, Binance customers are being targeted by dusting attacks. So Binance is currently being targeted by hackers. We've covered this in the past. By dropping a tiny amount of a coin into multiple wallets, cybervillains might be able to find the holder's identity. This is what's known as a dusting attack, and this article is brought to us by Robert. Binance has come out and discussed this issue directly. Quote, scammers recently realized that cryptocurrency users do not pay much attention to these tiny amounts showing up in their wallets, so they began dusting a large number of addresses by sending a few satoshis to them. After dusting multiple addresses, the next step of a dusting attack involves a combined analysis of those various addresses in an attempt to identify which ones belong to the same wallet. The goal is to eventually be able to link a dusted address and wallets to their respective companies or individuals. If successful, the attackers may use this knowledge against their targets, either through elaborated phishing attacks or cyber extortion threats. If you are a Binance user and you've noted a tiny amount or a dusting of satoshis, whatever cryptocurrency it may be in, that has been sent to your wallet, the only way to avoid the attack, as Robert writes here, is by not moving the dust, so to speak. So do not move that tiny amount of coin that is being received. Electroneum now is in the news, and although ETN is down 4.4% on the day, hey, that's the case with pretty much every other project out there. There's some good news that we can discuss here on Coinbeat.com. So Electroneum towards mainstream adoption in Brazil. This article from about a week ago, but on the 6th of August, Electroneum made remarkable strides towards its goal of mass adoption in developing regions by expanding to Brazil, which is the largest country in Latin America. This news was announced on the company's official website, where they revealed their excitement to make the cryptocurrency instantly available for Claro mobile top-ups with their ETN balance. This is a big deal, of course, because the expansion represents an opportunity to boost mass adoption in a country where 140 million people access the internet with their mobile phones. Of course, this is part of Electroneum's strategy. So their CEO, Richard Els, explained that Claro top-ups had been made possible through a third-party platform that helps purchases of the mobile phone airtime and data stress-free and seamless. He added, quote, we have invested significantly on talent, research, and development to lead the way in mass adoption by providing our ETN community with real-world use cases in South Africa and now in Brazil, as well as in many more countries that will be announced throughout 2019. If you're unfamiliar with Claro, it is the second largest mobile network operator in Brazil, providing service to over 60 million subscribers who can access internet roaming in over 150 countries. Brazil is also very significant because, according to a recent report, you can access that here, it's by Hootsuite, they discussed how Brazil is the 5th country in the world in terms of owners of cryptocurrency. The state also ranks highly on the list of countries with the highest number of crypto exchanges, according to NextWeb. Take that in conjunction with the fact that Electroneum's community is growing very rapidly. Electroneum's 3.1 million person community is swiftly growing and continues to zero in on mainstream cryptocurrency adoption. And with an unbanked population of 55 million, Brazil seems to be a very suitable next step towards Electroneum's expansion of their user base. So if you are an ETN fan, a member of the Altcoin Buzz Army, let us know your thoughts about this. Maybe you're Brazilian as well, but this is good news all around, and I think a pretty savvy strategy to be teaming up with Claro. So congratulations to our friends over at ETN. Now we have some news about Cardano in this tweet by Input Output HK. The new Daedalus wallet 0.14.0, part of our Cardano 1.6 release, is now out. Significant updates to the UI, user interface, and wallet experience make it easier and more enjoyable to use. Plus, we've improved support functions for faster diagnostics and issue resolution. And you can read all about the Cardano 1.6.0 mainnet here. Daedalus 0.14.0 with Cardano SL 3.0.3. Cardano not really doing all that well in terms of the daily prices, but doing better than certainly most others out there. It's actually up despite the Red Sea. Cardano is up, perhaps in response to this news, 1.9% over the last 24 hours, currently sitting at $0.0519, in other words, 5.1 cents. That about wraps it up for the news today, everybody. Do be sure you are following us on all the regular social media channels and keep checking back into our website, altcoinbuzz.io. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, go ahead, like, subscribe, share, hit the bell to receive notifications. All the very best of luck if you choose to invest on this hump day. But have a good one, have a great midweek, and we hope to see you again soon in our next video. Take care.